Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on this channel. I have heard your guys' requests and pleads for me to showcase some of the best Chinese Taobao brands, some of the best independent Chinese brands, the highest quality, coolest items, and therefore in this video I'll be doing exactly that. I've got around 10 I think stores for you that are some really popular options and very well known in China, on Taobao specifically. They're top 1 placements in their categories, or maybe they're not placed in categories, but they still are very popular with high ratings. But obviously no one would know about them anywhere else in the West, obviously in America, in the Europe, no one knows about any of these other than maybe one that I'll be showing you, which is very obvious, and that's the one I'm going to start off with. Obviously, if you guys want the list of these stores, you will find it in a spreadsheet down below, as well as all of the finds that I have showcased, as well as many more. So I do suggest you guys check out the spreadsheet down below. It also helps me out when you do so, and if you sign up with my link, so shout out to you if you do that. Without further ado, let's get into this actual list, starting us off with Union Kingdom. Now this guy will be the most popular based on the fact that this is a big or a well-known seller on your usual rep subreddits. However, he doesn't make really reps anymore. He doesn't really focus on this stuff anymore. Now he just makes a lot of blank clothing. So as you can see, it's not a very wide variety of stuff. It's quite basic stuff like zip-ups, jackets, and button-ups, or even 350 GSM t-shirts. So this is really high quality stuff, really heavy and dense materials, but it's a very standard fit, and he doesn't really differentiate himself in any special way. There is nothing special about this guy. He's just your perfect, normal, run-of-the-mill seller for just very standard clothing. That being said, you can't knock his pricing. It is all quite cheap and it is high quality. So what else could you really ask for? This is the most boring person on this list, so we're going to go straight into something more interesting, which is Oakuckland. And right off the bat, you can see this is a top 1 store in their category with some very positive reviews. They have a bunch of coupons right now as well, but we're going to ignore that. We're going to get to the items. It's a lot more of a grungy aesthetic compared to Union Kingdom, and also there's a lot more variety of items, and they just look more interesting. It's not your usual like normal just blank clothing. This stuff has character. It has some sort of charm to it, as opposed to just being, you know, simple blank clothing with really nothing to it. There's a wide variety of items here. It is a lot more of a darker aesthetic, as I said before, but you do also have items like this, which kind of gives you like that performative boy, you know, you're just missing a matcha in your hand and you're good to go reading some feminist literature. So Oakuckland is definitely a go-to store. They do have some really interesting stuff. I'm obviously not going to be showcasing every catalog of every store in this list, so I do suggest you guys just scroll through and find stuff for yourself. But as you can just see from this brief showcase, there is really a lot of stuff. Up next, we have Roya. They're also top 1 in their respective category. And I must say, these guys are kind of like your finance or tech bro final boss. This is the type of clothing you would expect people wearing in like Canary Wharf in London. Just got out their 9 to 5. Super depressed, barely get any sleep, gonna go home and work even more. This is the exact type of aesthetic I'm feeling here. Could just say it's very normal looking items. There's really nothing special here. As I said, with Oakuckland, there was a lot of character in the items. This is just more of run-of-the-mill, average, basic stuff with really nothing too interesting, but it is going to be high quality. It is going to be nicely fitting, and you are supporting a Chinese business. Up next, we have Pinto, and this brand is slightly more interesting. They have more variety in their fits of jeans. They even have flares, but they also produce some boots and shoes and accessories. If you see here, they make their own clogs, some even leather shoes or leather slippers, whatever you want to call them, some pleated trousers, more boots. These kind of remind me of the Balenciaga derbies, I think they're called. Some plaid pants. There is a lot of stuff here. With most of these stores, I'm going to be repeating myself quite extensively because it's mostly the same thing, just, you know, some differences here and there. But as you can see, they have a very similar catalog to Union Kingdom. It just seems to have more character. And as I said, their jeans are definitely more interesting. They have flares. They have stuff with slight distressing. They have stuff that's just straight up clean. Some with a slight wash on the knees. Even this cool pattern on the shirt, which is really nice. I do suggest you guys check out each one of these stores for yourself, and maybe you'll find something that I didn't showcase per se. But Pinto is, once again, nice standard store, not too expensive, high quality, with some interesting pieces. I'm a fan of the fact that they produce shoes. Shoes are a bit more confusing, a bit more difficult to produce. So when you see a store making shoes, you gotta respect it. And the pricing, honestly, is quite fair as well for an official independent brand. Up next, we have Gremade Home, I should say, not home, my bad. And this store, I think most likely the most expensive on this list, because it is like a high-end brand, okay? This is a high-end independent Chinese brand. These guys import denim straight from Japan just to make jeans, which is insane, but that's why you have 500 yuan jeans with Kuroki, I believe, or Kuroki denim, which is actually what my friend Jakey told me, so shout out to him for letting me know on that information. These guys will have some of the highest quality pieces you will own in your wardrobe, but you will also be paying a lot of money for them. This leather jacket, for example, at 2,200 yuan. Damn, that is a lot of money. Even for a leather jacket from some independent American brand or European brands, that would still go a long way. You can see that they do have a nice variety of items as well, but the pricing is, honestly, it is a little bit painful. It's a bit of an eyesore, especially this jacket here. Like, whoa, 2,800 yuan. you would not catch me dead in this, especially not for that price. But to each to their own. And all in all, they do have some really cool stuff. If you're looking for high quality items, I do highly suggest you guys check them out. They even have this bomber jacket, which kind of reminds me of Vetements. Honestly, such a wide variety of styles and just types of clothing. You do definitely need to check this out on your own. Up next, we have G Finner, and this one gives me the type of vibe where it's like you're in your 30s, 40s, you've moved from your home country to a Greek island, or potentially just another island in the Mediterranean, and you're avoiding paying taxes. This is kind of the exact vibe I'm getting here. Something that seems like you want to be a bad boy. Maybe you drive a motorcycle and you dress like this and you think you're sick. Honestly, it looks good. That's just the impression I'm getting from these photos here. I mean, they're trying a bit hard, I'm not gonna lie. But once again, it is just a nice grungy, I guess you could say. I don't even know how to explain this aesthetic, but it's a completely different vibe from what I've shown you before. With, once again, a nice variety of items. They even make their own sneakers, leather boots. There is a lot of stuff. Even have some of their own loafers, which is cool. I mean, shout out to them, man. All of these independent brands making so much shit. Their pricing, once again, is quite expensive, but this is, once again, a more high-end brand. And also, this style is a bit more niche than the others I've shown you. Not really streetwear-y. This is kind of more mature, I guess you could say. Up next, we got Son of Long, and their store is slightly annoying to go through, especially because it's all in Chinese. So I'm going to translate it. Not sure what view all babes means. I guess that means all categories. And as you can see, these guys have a lot more of like a, I guess, Birkenstock Carhartt aesthetic. That's one way to put it. But they do also have a lot more kind of interesting stuff. I know that they have a lot of pattern-based flannels and stuff like that, or scarves even. You can see this weird pattern on this flannel or shirt, whatever you want to call it. If we go digging a bit more, you'll see these crazy patterns as well. The elbows on this shirt, crazy. There is a lot more experimental stuff here. Even this jacket, for example, it is stuff you won't see elsewhere. Here you go once again. If you're with the Cribs, I suppose you could wear this. Obviously, I'm not, so I will not be purchasing this. And if this is something you fancy, then, you know, obviously be my guest. It wouldn't be on the top of my priority list of stuff to buy. As I said, I want to show you guys a wide variety of styles and types of items here. What the actual fuck? This looks like a Polish Góral hat. This is literally just a Góral in Poland. What the fuck is this? Son of Long, man. Interesting items. Definitely more experimental, I guess you could say. Up next, we have Super Tofu, and these guys have a wide variety of styles and fits. It is, I think, a good store for pretty much everyone to check out, and I know I said that before as well, but these guys really do have a lot of different styles, from more darker aesthetics to just your usual everyday wear. They even have some graphic clothing, so, you know, prints or details or whatever. So it's not blanks per se, but it's still a nice high quality Chinese independent brand. And they do have something really cool, which I noticed. These Aloha shirt section, which I think shirts, button-ups are sick. I love wearing them, and they have some really cool designs here. Huge shout out to them for that. And they do also have just a shirt section if you want something a bit more simpler. But they have a really nicely well organized catalog in English as well, so you can really kind of sort through this and not have to use a translator tool every single time you want to check something out. But as I said, from graphic tees to even blank ones, just from nice fitting clothing, for even sportswear, activewear, there is a lot of stuff here. I could spend all day here in each one of these stores digging through everything. They really do have just from like more finance bro clothing to even just basketball player clothing. There is definitely something for you here. Now we're nearing the end. This is the second to last store, and this is Xanvas. Once again, these guys are very, very reputable on Taobao. And these guys once again have a bit of a workwear aesthetic. As you can see, they have a lot of jackets on the stock list, as well as some nice sweaters, even these collared long sleeve polos, you could call them. So many jackets. You have this shirt built in with a cardigan, which is kind of insane. Raw denims for 339 yuan, which is really not that expensive. Bomber jackets for 277. Long sleeve with some prints. They even have some Cindy Sherman stuff. And I did notice that some of their jeans seem to be very directly inspired by Acne Studios. If I can show that to you in a second, if we just keep scrolling and you get a better look at what they have. They even have like these cool side bags, these polos here. There is so much stuff here. They seem to really love collars, so I don't know what the correlation is there. Can't find the jeans either. Let me see. So you see the paint splatter on the jeans, and they do have a sewn in, I believe. Yeah, sewn in packet of cigarettes, Marlboro cigarettes in the pocket, which is a really cool detail. I have not seen that before. I've seen other embroidery in the pocket. Pack of cigarettes wasn't one of them. 322 yuan for high quality denim. Count me in. I might even have to cop that myself. But as you can see, once again, some really cool stuff here. Different styles, different aesthetics, something for everyone. I have said that maybe 20 times now. You get the gist. And checking out this pair of pants on AC Buy, people have actually bought this in the past, so you can take a look. And yeah, there's the pack of cigarettes. So I might be buying this. The paint splatter kind of ruins it a little bit, but we'll make it work. Last but not least, we have this store called Inscale, and obviously, first impressions, It just doesn't look like blank clothing. Yeah, these guys are a bit more interesting with graphics and slightly more outlandish pieces, more of that TikTok streetwear vibe. They have these really cool fireman class jackets, which I know are very popular from a brand called Shiriko, something SH, if I remember correctly. I would never buy it myself from that brand. From here, 569 yuan, independent Chinese brand, raw denim. I mean, this looks fucking nice. And they do have other types as well. There's this one in grey, which looks like something a dad would wear more so than a person our age, as in me and you, because we are the same age and I'm not old. They even have this fluffy clasp jacket, which looks really nice actually in this photo. I'm not gonna lie, I can't bash it. But yeah, these cool, insane animal print pants, bright blue cargos, long sleeves. They don't have that big of a catalog as you can see ends here, but they do definitely have some more interesting stuff. And if you want more statement pieces in your wardrobe, I do suggest you guys check these guys out. They have some of the most interesting items I've showcased in this video for sure. And that actually does wrap it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. To the people that asked, I hope you were happy with this. It is a nice built out list, a lot of variety. Obviously not much I can say, so I was probably repeating myself like crazy in this video, but it's quite simple stuff that I'm showcasing. So take your pitchforks, put them away. My bad. Next video will probably be the hoodie showcase that you guys have asked for as well. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.